in the last 2 years, 2021 and 2022, the largest group of buyers was millennials. Made sense because they had a lot of pent-up demand there. They're in those home buying years, starting a family and all these kind of things, right? And so in 2021, 43% of buyers were millennials. They really drove that market post-COVID or during COVID, right? 28% of buyers in 2022 were also millennials, okay? Now, today, 2023, it is no longer millennials. Boomers are now the largest group of home buyers.
You got to specify the younger boomers, because I didn't realize that they split boomers into two different categories. So you're younger.
Well, they don't, but this does, yeah.
Yeah, the younger boomers, 58 to 67, are at 30%, and then the older boomers are at 68. Those are ages 68 to 70. 68
they're
to
at
76.
23%. 58 to 67 is 23%, and then 68 to 76 is 16%. So it makes up a total of 39%. And yeah, you were looking at the sellers, but the buyers, 58 to 67, 23%, 68 to 76 years old, 16%. So 39% of all buyers, which is up from 29% in 2021, are now baby boomers. Okay. And so younger millennials, 24 to 32, 12%, older millennials, 33 to 42 are 16%. So millennials are making up 28%, still a large category of buyer. But boomers are 11%. I like that they split up millennials from 24 to 32 and 33 to 42, because as one of those older millennials, I think the 24, 25-year-old millennial who didn't grow up, like I grew up with no cell phone. I think basically that's what they did. They separated it from those who grew up with a cell phone to those of us that didn't, because the ones that did are vastly different the way they think about the world and life. They
should rename us the pager generation. That was us.
The beep.
We had the beepers. Because I'm right with you on that one.
House phone.
Yep.
All of that.
Or
Ryan, where do you fall on that? Are you right in the middle? Where are you?
I'm 32. So where am I?
You're at the top of the younger Gen Y millennials.
So I dropped, right?
Yeah.
My people dropped.
You're the grandfather of the younger millennials. It makes sense, right? 24 to 32 only making up 12% of home buyers here in 2023. They probably have less savings, right? And we know that, savings is a an advantage for a home buyer right now, because they can, kind of offset that interest rate if the more savings, more cash they've got. So the interest rate impacting those younger buyers more. The boomers don't feel the interest rate. They control 1/7 of the world's wealth, right? So boomers have a lot more money to play with. And so it makes sense that in 2023, that number's jumped up.
And it's interesting because I have two clients right now that are both one is looking for a multifamily so that her son can live on the other side because he's 25, 26, starting his professional career. She wants to be able to offer him that. And I have another client who's looking to build out some space, probably finish a basement, over a garage, something like that. Again, for a child who's just graduating college, and they want to give them like a 4 or 5 year head start to save up and be that. So I'm actually not that surprised. Interest rates obviously play a big factor, but to see that number go down, now we're starting to talk more about that generational living, and both of those clients are young boomers.
I'm going to make two bold statements. Okay, I'm going to speak on behalf of my entire generation. First being, we have trouble saving, right? It is tough. Like Byron was saying, our generation, it's very tough for us to save, especially. Like we have another daughter coming on our way in June, and we looked at the daycare numbers. I think we're going to be like $25,000 a year between the two. And that's about an average price, right? So it's tough to save. That's the first bold statement. The second bold statement is we don't want to save. We don't save. We don't do anything to help ourselves out.
Do you think that's because you're looking at, like, let's say somebody who is 65, 67, and they're still working 40, 50 hours a week. And so you're like, if I'm going to have to be working that late in my life, then why start now?
I think the thing is our generation is based on instant gratification, right? Like when it comes to the loan process, we try to make it as smooth and as quickly as possible. But I always notice like my generation has a hard time grasping, no, we have to wait for the bank. This isn't something you can speed up. I can order whatever I want on my doorstep and it can be here in 2 days. And I think we have problems. We love to spend money. We don't want to save. We don't know how to save. We just always like that instant gratification. So those are my two bold statements. Yes, it's tough for us to save with kids, college, trying to get out of the hole, but we don't do any favors for ourselves. And I think that's what happened a lot also in January. It's when, like the holidays were over and COVID went by. I had a lot of people, my generation, say, I know I deserve a house. I don't care if the rates are up. I don't care. I deserve to have a house. And I think then they got too high and people start to fade out. Those are my two bold statements, Chaz.
All right.
That we can't save, but we don't want to either.